Hello my friends, this is Tata Lumbanda Afimaya Galarraga. Today I am starting a segment, a series of videos that will be entitled Spiritual Sundays. And Spiritual Sundays is about understanding spirituality, understanding the practice of spirituality, understanding that we live in a spiritual world and an energetic world, that regardless of what tradition, what religious faith we profess, we can all agree that we live in an energetic environment, in a universe that's full of energies, nature's energy, and we live in it. We are in its territory. It is also geared towards delivering Spirit's message, whether we call it Spirit's message, whether we call it channeling, whether we call it mediating, or just bringing upon Spirit's message. I'm taking these Spiritual Sundays to simply deliver Spirit's message. And today's segment on Spiritual Sunday, I would like to speak about the importance of rendering tribute, rendering homage, giving respects and honor to our ancestors, our spirit guides. Because without our ancestors, you and I would not be here. Without our spirit guides, our lives will be so much more difficult. So if we don't take a moment to dedicate time to our spirit guides, to our ancestors, our life will be very difficult, in my opinion. It is important for me to also say that what I believe to be spirituality, how I practice spirituality, may not necessarily be the way in which you practice it, and therefore your way isn't better than mine, and mine is not better than yours, because it is my rule, my understanding, my belief that spirituality and the practice of it comes in different ways, in different forms, and therefore there is not one rule as to how one is to practice spirituality. I can only speak of the Cuban style of the practice of spirituality because I'm Cuban. I was born in Cuba, I was raised in a Cuban home, and therefore my practice, my expertise, my knowledge is based in a Cuban style, in a Cuban way. But that does not make it better than any other practices. There's so many different ways of practicing spirituality. There is Sanse, there's 21 divisions, la 21 divisiones, which comes from Santo Domingo, I believe, and many other practices of spirituality. As long as it leads us into a path of light, of clarity, as long as it helps us in our daily lives, as long as it helps us become a better human being, a better person, in whichever way we choose to practice spirituality is perfectly fine. So today's segment is rendering homage and tribute to ancestors. I'm going to tell you how I do it. One of the many ways I do it, because there isn't one specific way that I do this. But I want to give you an understanding as to how we can connect with our ancestors. First and foremost, we connect with our ancestors via prayer. Some of us like to call it meditation, because prayer is usually linked to religion, and many people are not comfortable with the term religion. So whether I call it prayer, and whether you call it meditation, which I also do practice, it all leads us into connecting with our spirit guides and our ancestors. So in my practice of spirituality, there is the elements of fire, water, earth, and air. Because through water, through a glass of water dedicated to our ancestors, to our spirit guides, it helps us feed their energy, and their energy feeds us. It goes more in depth, but I'm just going about it very briefly. But in videos to come in these Spiritual Sundays, I will get more deeply into the elements that makes the practice of spirituality so special. We have fire, which would be light. Candles is the element of fire. And the element of fire helps us enlighten our spirit guides, helps us give light to our ancestors, and in return, we get them from them as well. To us, meaning to the practice of spirituality in the Cuban way, it is very important. Flowers. Without flowers, it'd be very hard for us to render homage and dedicate time and pray, give tribute to our spirits, our spirit guides. Flowers is the element of earth, and it helps flourish the spirit's path, and in return, our path also gets flourished as well. Other ways that we use, that I use at least, is incense. Incense, it's also both element of fire and also element of earth in my belief, because the smoke that emanates up into the heavens helps deliver the message. Whatever message we're praying upon, whatever message we're trying to deliver to our spirit guides, to our ancestors, the smoke sends that message up into the heavens. And also what we call Florida water. Also, we can use colonia or any aspect of spiritual colognes, because the use of spiritual colognes helps connect with our spirits, help connect with our spirit guides, with our ancestors, and it calls them, the smell of the cologne helps them get close to us. It's like a calling. It's like someone is calling me, someone is praying to me, someone is asking for my help, my assistance, my guidance. So we put our spiritual colognes on ourselves to help the spirit connect with our bodies, So today's segment on Spiritual Sundays, I would like to share with you how important it is to pray, how important it is to light a candle, how important it is to meditate with our spirit guides. We live in a society, in a universe that each day gets more and more and more complicated, and therefore it is imperative that we find time in our day to connect with our spirit guides, for guidance, for clarity, for help, for assistance, for anything that helps our path be more grounded, anything that helps us understand what our purpose is in this life. Now, in videos to come, I will try to explain more in depth what is a spirit guide, and I will try to also deliver a better understanding as to why we have spirit guides, why are they there, what's their purpose, how can we connect with them, and what are the different things that we can do to connect with our spirit guides. For today though, I would like for you to take a moment to dedicate 5 minutes of your time to your spirit guide. It doesn't matter whether you know who your spirit guide is at the moment, but it's important that you take your steps in getting closer to them, because life is very stressful. It's getting more complicated. It's getting more challenging. And I'm not going to speak about politics. I'm not going to speak about things that all of us, we could never agree. But these are factors that are affecting our daily lives, whether it is religion or political issues, societal issues alone, family issues. We're surrounded by issues each and every day of our lives. And connecting with our spirit guides, whoever it is, you know, I have different spirit guides. I connect a lot with my African spirit guides because those are the main ones in my spiritual quadrant. But I also have a very strong connection with spirit guides that are from the Indians, whether they're natives Indians, whether they're Indians that had to do with our, at least where I come from Cuba. You know, there's also Puerto Rico, there's also Santo Domingo, and many other countries that the first people in those lands were Indians. So most of us also have Indian roots as well. Indian roots, does not get confused. When I say Indian roots, does not necessarily mean Indian roots in our bloodline, in our DNA, but it's definitely in our spiritual quadrant for many of us. Not all of us, but for many of us it is, depending where we come from. In my case, I have strong, first and foremost, African spirit guides, but I also have Indians as well. And I am very connected with both my Indian and my African spiritual backgrounds. And I pray to them, and I light candles to them, and I, dedicate flowers to them so it can flourish my path. And it helps our spirit guides and our ancestors to elevate to a higher level of spirituality. The higher they elevate into the spiritual realm, the better they are able to assist us, to support us, to give us an understanding of ourselves, help us in our path to reach our goals, etc., etc. I don't want to make this video too long. I am just introducing today my spiritual Sundays that I'm sharing with you. If there's one thing that I want you to understand today, is that whether you see them or not, whether you feel them or not, whether you feel the connection yet or not, whether you even know how to communicate with them or not, we all have spirit guides. We all have guardian angels. We all have ancestors that are just waiting for us to open that door, to open that communication, that way of communication, to help ease our daily lives. Let our spiritual Sundays be a Sunday of communicating with our roots, with our spirit guides, with our ancestors, so that we can better understand what our purpose is in this life. Take a moment to meditate. Take a moment to pray. And if you know about or have any knowledge of spirituality in the Cuban sense, or even the Puerto Rican sense, or the Dominican sense, don't steer away from your spirituality. Don't steer away from your spirit guides. Don't steer away from these strong essence that are there to guide us, to lead us, to help us understand our purpose in life. People are hit so hardly today by their experiences. They're hit so hardly by their traumas. They're hit so harshly by the negative experiences that life throws at them, that we steer away from spirituality. We feel tired. We feel emotionally tired. We feel mentally tired. We feel physically tired. We just feel tired. And sometimes it feels like who we pray into or who we are meditating to is deaf to our anxiety, to our pain, to our hardships that we go through. But let me be the voice that tells you that regardless of what you are going through, regardless of how hard and how challenging your life has been and continues to be, your spirit guides are by your side. They're so by your side, which is the reason that you haven't dropped dead, which is the reason why you haven't committed suicide, which is the reason you didn't die last week in that car accident, which is the reason you didn't get shot last week or last month, which is the reason why, something that was aimed for someone else didn't destroy you. So they're there. We just have to be consistent. Consistent in dedicating time to what protects us every day of our lives. Don't forget this. Our spirit guides are there. So today on Spiritual Sundays dedicated to our ancestors and spirit guides, take 5 minutes. 5 minutes to pray to them, 5 minutes to meditate to them, 5 minutes to say, I don't know where you are. And sometimes I don't feel you. And sometimes I don't know whether you listen to me or not. But I'm taking this moment to pray to you, to light a candle to you, to give thanks that I'm able to even light a candle to you. That goes so far, it's not even, can't even be put into words. It goes far. It takes us a long way to dedicate 5 minutes to our spirit guides, to our ancestors. Dedicating time to our ancestors and to our spirit guides, it's what gives me the strength, what gives me the energy, what gives me the life to sit here today and talk to you and try to connect to every corner of this universe. Because spirituality is the foundation of our being. We came into our spiritual world and we will leave one day into the spiritual realm. Let us try our best that by the time our time has come to an end in this physical realm of life, that we are able to transition smoothly. There's more to that. And take a moment to give thanks. We don't give enough thanks. We don't give enough thanks. We're not thankful enough to our spirit guides, to our ancestors. There's so much that can be cleared. There's so much that can be healed. There's so much that can be resolved through spirituality. Because many of us are also carrying along karmic issues that through spirituality we could resolve. We can clarify. We can cut that cord that keeps you dragging your karmic issues, that karmic baggage that doesn't let you move forward in life. We will get more to that in videos to come on Spiritual Sundays. Understanding that there is a gift in each and every one of us that we have been anointed with. We just have to discover it and put it into practice. May the blessings of the universe, may the blessings of earth, may the blessings of all our ancestors, our spirit guides, be with all of us. Many blessings.
Hoy el remedio andaban buscando para los hijos de Adán.